Not everything that heals is seen. Not everything that transforms comes from outside. There are ancient vibrations that go through time, forgotten frequencies that whisper secrets to the soul, and that have been resonating in silence since the very origin of the universe. That is what we have come to remember today. The Solfeggio frequencies are not common musical notes or ornamental melodies. They are fundamental vibrations, sound codes that activate invisible dimensions of your being. Each of these frequencies is a portal, a vibrational key, an energetic formula that connects with deep structures of the body, mind, and spirit. For centuries, these frequencies were hidden, enclosed in sacred hymns, such as the hymn to San Juan, preserved in numerical structures by sages and alchemists. Today, we know them not only as a harmonic sequence, but as a tool of cosmic realignment, because they were not created by musicians, but revealed by the sages who understood that the universe is not built with matter, but with vibration. And now, in this era of spiritual reactivation, these 9 frequencies resurface, and not as a fashion, but as a deep need, because we have disconnected from our inner harmony. We have lived in distorted frequencies, tuned to the noise of the world and not to the melody of the soul. But it is possible to return, to vibrate with the source again, to listen to the original song again. In this video, we will go through the 9 extended solfeggio frequencies, from the lowest vibrations, which work on the physical body and rooting, to the highest, which open the subtle perception and awaken the memory of the divine. Each frequency has a purpose, a gift, a mission, and if you know how to listen to it, it can take you back to yourself. We will explore its hidden history, its spiritual architecture, and most importantly, how to integrate them into your life to heal, activate, and evolve. This is not a video about sound. It is a call to remember what your soul has always known, that you are a symphony waiting to be tuned, that the universe sings, and you can sing with it, because in the beginning, there was no word. There was vibration, and that vibration still lives in you. Before the temples were built, before the gods were named, the universe already vibrated in order, vibrated in geometry, vibrated in sound. Not a sound as we understand it now, but a pulse, a deep resonance that organized matter, space, and time. That primordial sound was not destroyed, but forgotten. And in the esoteric tradition, we call it the original solfeggio, the solfeggio frequencies. They have their root in the very heart of ancient mysteries. It is said that the Egyptian priests, they tuned their rituals not only with symbols, but with tones, that the Vedic mantras were not mere vocalizations, but coded vibrational transmitters, that the Hebrews understood the numerical power of the name of God. The Tetragrammaton, not only as a word, but as a sacred frequency. But the first great vestige documented of the solfeggio frequencies appears in medieval Europe in the 11th century. The Benedictine monk Guido d'Arezzo, when looking for a way to teach liturgical singing to religious choirs, he designed a scale based on a special numerical sequence. It was not just any scale. Its notes were taken from a hymn dedicated to Saint John the Baptist, where each line began with a different syllable. That, when combined, created the ancient solfeggio scale, ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Each syllable was assigned to a frequency, what not many knew, and what was suppressed for centuries. Is that these frequencies? They were not randomly chosen. They corresponded to precise mathematical proportions, with the ability to resonate deeply with the human body, nature, and the soul. Later, These frequencies were eliminated from the Western musical system, replaced by the standard tuning of 440 Hz frequency that, ironically, modern studies link with tension and biological incoherence, the true Solfeggio frequencies. They fell into oblivion until they were rescued by researchers of the mystical and mathematical tradition. And this is where surprising connections are revealed. The mathematician and mystic Leonardo da Pisa, better known as Fibonacci, described a numerical sequence, the famous Fibonacci sequence, which also appears in the harmonic arrangement of these frequencies. For his part, the father of sacred geometry, Pythagoras, he already affirmed that the universe is number and proportion, and that music was the purest way to transmit these proportions. From the esoteric point of view, the Solfeggio frequencies, they are resonant codes that are inscribed in the vibratory matrix of the universe. Each frequency is like a key that opens a different level of consciousness. There are 9 tones, 9 doors, 9 states of being that allow us to remember our original design. But the most fascinating thing is not its history, but its impact. Those who listen to them, or tune them with intention, they begin to notice something extraordinary. More lucid dreams, more orderly emotions, inexplicable sense of peace, spiritual memories that resurface, and, in many cases, spontaneous healing processes. The shamanic traditions always knew that the drum, the flute, the song, they were not entertainment, they were medicine, vibration at the service of the soul. The ancients knew what we rediscover today. When the sound is sacred, the body recognizes it, and the soul responds. So, the Solfeggio frequencies, they are not just history, they are heritage, they are not curiosity, they are a map. And whoever dares to listen to them consciously, not only listens, it is remembered. Listen to a frequency. Solfeggio, it is not just hearing a sound, it is allowing a sacred geometry in the form of vibration penetrate the energy field, reorder cellular memories, and open inner doors that have remained sealed for centuries. Each frequency is a sound archetype, a vibrational code that, when it meets your consciousness, activates a subtle alchemy. We start this journey from the depths of the body, where matter still dominates, and we ascend slowly towards more subtle planes, increasingly closer to the spirit. These are the first 5 keys. 174 Hz, the root of rest. This frequency is the vibration of the physical body in its most primitive state. It is called the frequency of relief, because it acts like an energetic balm that relaxes tissues, dissolves tensions, and provides a feeling of deep cellular rest. It is the base, the vibrating earth that supports your temple. Spiritually, it teaches us that healing begins in stillness, and that, without a solid root, there is no true growth. It is perfect for those who suffer insomnia, anxiety, or feel that they do not belong. In the language of the soul, 174. Hus, whispers, you are safe, you can rest in you. 185. Hertz, the frequency of regeneration. Here the sound begins to touch invisible structures. 285. Hertz. Not only does it work on the physical body, but in its enveloping energetic field, known as the etheric body, it stimulates cellular regeneration and the energetic reconstruction of organs and tissues, but also the reconfiguration of wounds of the aura, this frequency. It is like a subtle architect. It restores what has been broken. It is said that it can help in post-operative processes. or imbalances caused by traumas. Beyond biology, it activates a vibration that reminds your body of its original form, its pattern of perfection. 396 Hertz. Liberation of fear and guilt. Here we enter the emotional realm. This frequency opens the vault of the unconscious and begins to remove what has been buried under years of repression. Fears, guilt, traumas inherited. It is the first tone of emotional liberation. It works on the root chakra and unlocks limiting memories, especially those related to survival, scarcity, and decay. 396 Hertz. It acts as a purifier. It cleanses the emotional mud so that vital energy flows again. Its message is clear. Get rid of the inner prison. 417 Hertz. The tone of change and rebirth. Once the old has been released, it must be replaced by something new. 417 Hertz. It is the vibration of harmonious change, of spiritual resetting. It is ideal for those who go through transitions, ruptures, symbolic death processes. This frequency cleans repetitive negative patterns and opens the energetic field to rebirth, like the fire that burns the unnecessary. 417 Hertz. It turns chaos into opportunity. It is useful to break karmic cycles and start again with a higher and more stable vibration. 528 Hertz. The code of love and transformation. We come to the most famous frequency, the universal love, and the repair of the DNA. It is called the miraculous frequency because it works in the deepest levels of biology and consciousness. It is said that the DNA responds directly to this vibration, reorganizing its structure towards patterns of greater coherence. But 528 Hertz goes beyond the body. It is the frequency of the awake heart, the vibration of unity, of forgiveness, of love that does not demand or condition. Listening to this frequency allows a sacred memory to be activated, that of the essential being. These first 5 frequencies build a ladder of vibrational ascent, from matter to soul, from body to light, and each has a different purpose, but they are all intertwined in a greater design. They are tones of awakening, whispers of the universe that, if you listen to them with your soul, transform. In the first 5 frequencies, Solfeggio, we ascend from the corporeal root to the expansion of love and internal healing. But the journey does not end there. There are 4 other higher frequencies, less known, but not less powerful. They do not work so much on the body or emotions, but on the most subtle planes of being, consciousness, intuition, soul, and its direct connection with the divine. These frequencies are like stellar gates that return us to our cosmic architecture. When you vibrate them, not only healthy, you remember. 639 Hertz. The frequency of connection and harmony. The heart, already activated by 528 Hertz, now seeks to resonate beyond itself. 639 Hertz. It is the vibration of the sacred connection with others, the frequency of love that unites, that harmonizes relations, that restores bonds from truth. It is not about romantic love, but about the recognition of the other as a mirror, and extension of one's own being. This frequency helps heal broken relationships, attract new resonating souls, and restore harmony within groups, families, communities. Spiritually, it opens the field for deep empathy, active compassion, and conscious service. It is the sound that reminds us that we are not islands, but notes of the same cosmic symphony. 741 Hertz. the frequency of inner awakening. At this stage, the sound begins to touch mind structures. 741 Hz. It is a frequency of deep energy cleansing that removes negative fields, mental toxins, and subconscious blockages that prevent the expansion of consciousness. This frequency acts as a clarifier. It frees us from destructive mental patterns, promotes authentic expression, and strengthens the inner voice. It is particularly useful for those who feel that they have lost their spiritual direction, that they live trapped in mental noise, or that they have forgotten the sound of their own soul. It is also associated with the thyroid gland and the throat chakra, that is, with conscious expression and the ability to name the truth in its deepest essence. 741 Hz awakens the gift of seeing and speaking with energy clarity. 852 Hz, the awakening of intuition and vision. This frequency opens the door to the higher realms of perception. 852 Hz works on the intervein chakra, the famous inner vision, and stimulates the connection with higher wisdom, intuition, and spiritual guidance. Those who meditate with this frequency, they report greater intuitive clarity, significant synchronies, and revealing dreams. It also favors the disconnection from the distractions of the world and a deep return to the center of the soul. 852 Hz invites you to live from the eagle's vision, to rise above duality and observe reality from higher planes. At this level, intuition is not a premonition, but a way to see the invisible with absolute certainty. 963 Hz, the frequency of divine unity. Here we reach the top of the Solfeggio staircase. 963 Hz is the frequency of the pineal gland, of the third eye awake, and the memory of the divine self. It is called the frequency of God, not for belonging to a religion, but to activate the feeling of unity with the whole universe. This tone does not heal like the previous ones. Wake up reminds us that we are more than body, more than mind, more than history. We are infinite consciousness having a temporal experience. Vibrate at 963 Hz. It is to access elevated states of meditation, activate mystical vision, and enter full emptiness states, where there is no longer separation. It is the frequency of sacred silence, where the ego disappears, and only the being remains, the place where all questions are dissolved, because there is no longer a need for an answer. These 9 frequencies, taken as a set, form a sacred staircase, a sound map towards inner evolution. They are not just vibrations to listen to, they are energetic initiations. Whoever goes through them consciously does not become the same again, because ultimately it is not about what sounds you hear, but what level of yourself they allow you to access. The Solfeggio frequencies are not just to listen, they are to inhabit. To integrate them, it is not enough to play an audio while you do something else. They require presence, intention, and above all, disposition, so that their vibration penetrates the veils that your mind has built for years. They are subtle medicine, but powerful. Therefore, for these frequencies to truly act as spiritual catalysts, it is vital to prepare the inner ground. Here I share with you practical advice, but deeply esoteric, so that you can turn the Solfeggio frequencies into part of your daily path. 1. Listen consciously. More than hearing, it is to resonate. Do not put these frequencies as background music while you work or check your phone. At least once a day, Dedicate a sacred space of active listening. Close your eyes, sit with your spine straight, take a deep breath, and let the sound enter. Do not analyze it. Do not judge it. Just watch it act on you. Imagine that each tone is a liquid light entering through your pores, passing through your organs, caressing your energy field. Listen with your body. Listen with your soul. 2. Vibrate what you need, not what is fashionable. Each frequency fulfills a specific function. Not all are for everyone, not for every moment. Ask yourself, do I need to release blocked emotions? Do I want to heal my physical body? Do I want to expand my intuition or connect with the divine? Depending on your answer, choose the right frequency. For example, if you are going through a duel, 396 Hz can help you release the pain. If you feel that you have lost your spiritual course, 852 or 963 Hz can reconnect you. Choosing the right frequency is like choosing a medicinal plant. The dose and purpose matter. 3. Combine them with visualization. Frequencies do not only act by themselves. Their power multiplies when combined with the directed imagination. As you listen, visualize what you want to unlock, heal, or activate. If you are working with 528 Hz, imagine your heart opening up like a brilliant green flower, radiating love and acceptance. The mind is a creative tool. What you imagine while you listen becomes vibration, and that vibration becomes reality. 4. Incorporate sound into your rituals. Whether you do meditations, moon baths, journaling practices, yoga, or just moments of silence, use these frequencies as a ceremonial background. They create a sacred atmosphere, a resonant field that facilitates introspection, healing, and awakening. You can, for example, start your day with 417 Hz to invoke positive changes, or close the night with 174 Hz to calm your nervous system and dream clearly. 5. Use your voice as a channel. Remember, you can't just listen to these frequencies. You can intonate them. Even if you're not a singer, your body vibrates when it emits sounds. Sing long vowels like A, E, or Om while you listen to the frequency. Allow your chest, throat, and skull to become resonant chambers. The sound vibration from within has a multiplying power. The verb is not only a creator, it is a healer. 6. Don't measure results. Observe transformations. This is a subtle path. Sometimes you will notice immediate effects, relaxation, crying, peace. Other times, the changes will be imperceptible at first, but you will find yourself making better decisions, dreaming more clearly, feeling less emotional reactivity. Don't look for miracles. Observe the movements of the soul. There is the real sign that the frequencies are working. Living in frequency is living in line with your original design. It is choosing to vibrate above fear, chaos, and collective noise. It is making sound a medicine and silence a mastery. And when you do a tuning act every day, you become the instrument where consciousness plays its highest melody. All creation is vibration. The ancient wise men said it, the mystics sensed it, quantum science confirms it today. Nothing is immobile. Everything vibrates. Everything resonates. And you, like the stars and the oceans, are a symphony in constant movement. The frequencies, Solfeggio, are not a curiosity or a spiritual fashion. They are fragments of the original language of creation. Acoustic codes that not only travel through the air, but also penetrate the soul, reminding you who you are, where you come from, and where you are called to return. We have traveled 9 frequencies, each as a vibrational pedestal on the stairs of awakening. From the lowest frequencies that restore the physical body to the highest frequencies that activate the spiritual vision and the connection with the divine. 9 portals, 9 keys, 9 opportunities to vibrate in coherence with your essential being. And now that you know them, the question is not whether they work. The real question is, do you dare to let them work in you? Because using them involves much more than playing an audio. It involves an internal disposition, a voluntary surrender to the sacred order that you have forgotten. It involves allowing these frequencies to undo internal structures that the ego has built to protect you, but that have also limited you. It involves listening with the soul, not with the ears, and living in consonance with that internal melody that makes you unique, but not separate, human, but not alone, limited, but infinitely expandable. Whoever listens to the Solfeggio frequencies with an open heart not only heals a symptom, it reorganizes its complete energetic field. Not as someone who wants to have more power, but as someone who decides to remember their original power. Because when you vibrate in frequency, you do not manipulate reality, you consciously create it. This journey, if you choose it, does not end here. Every day, every emotion, every decision can be an opportunity to vibrate with greater harmony. And when you vibrate differently, the whole world is reorganized around you. I invite you not to stay in amazement. Transform your environment into a temple of resonance. Make your mind a tuned space. Make your words a conscious vibrational act. Make your presence a living frequency. Because in the end, the real question is not what sound you are listening to, but in what vibration you are living.